In example from section 4.3, we are asked to use the addition principle. And these, when we do them, take a little more study. For instance, the first thing we should do is put them in standard form, if they're not already. Well, these are both in standard form. Then we look at the equations and see if we put a line underneath them and added them up, would one of the variables be eliminated? And the answer is no. So then we have to say, well, how can we modify the equations so that something would cancel out? Well, we could look at these first two. This one's negative, this one's positive. If I multiplied this one by a 5 and this equation by a 2, I'd have here a negative 10x and a positive 10x. The x's would cancel out. But I also have the option of multiplying this one by a what, so that these terms would cancel out. Think about it for a moment, and the answer is a 2. If I multiplied this equation by a 2, this would become 6y. And if I multiplied this equation by a 3, this term would become a negative 6y, and they would cancel out. So that's what we want you to do. You've copied this down. And again, this is a strategy we'd like to see on your blue sheets and hopefully has been in your homework log as well. Rewrite the new equations over here and see if you can solve for x. All right, so this is going to become a negative 4x plus 6y equals a negative 4. So it's not the same equation, but it's equivalent because we multiplied each term by the same amount. And then down here, we're going to get 15x minus 6y. Again, that was what we were looking for, equals a negative 51. So now when we put our line, now as we do the addition, we add this up. This is 11x. These cancel out, and we get a negative 55. We now divide both sides by 11, and we get x equals a negative 5. So if x is a negative 5, again, we can use either of our original equations to find out what y is. We'll use the first one, negative 2 times our value of x now, which is a negative 5, plus 3y equals a negative 2. So this is a negative 10 plus 3y, I should say a positive 10, equals a negative 2. Negative times a negative gives you a positive. Now we're going to transpose the 10. On this side it becomes a negative 10. So this is negative 12. And we solve for y by dividing both sides by 3. We get y equals a negative 4. So once again, when we put in our ordered pair, it must be in the proper order. And if you were to put these values into your original equations, they would make them true statements. Again, on your test today, it's only 10 questions. You want to be sure to check your work. Okay, we'll be going on into chapter 5 now, and later you'll be taking your test.